Hello, Gulfport. Here I'm posting another city council meeting where I spoke. And as I'm listening to it, Samantha Ring, who successfully had a lawsuit against the city of Gulfport and Boca Chica Yacht Club, winning hundreds of thousands of dollars, also spoke at this city council meeting. Now, this is the very first city council meeting that was done during COVID. It was on April 21, 2020. They didn't even have a meeting prior to this because of the COVID mandates. Everything was now mandated closed due to COVID. The state, federal, county, and the city had already written up guidelines for closures and everything to be closed. And what ended up happening is, as you'll see in the speech I made here, they had a big old party going at Boca Chica Yacht Club, the private, supposedly wanted to be private, disgusting whites only yacht club, and it's whites only in their articles of incorporation for 65 years. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and play this. This is the first COVID meeting over, first city council meeting during COVID, and it was April 21, 2020, and this is Samantha Ring speaking up. Here we go. Let's see if this works out.
In these times, I think it is very important for all of us to consider how we use city property. There's at least one exclusive private club that is utilizing the most precious land of our city. The majority, over 75%, are not Gulfport residents. They pay a nominal fee, $1 a year.
They never pay.
And not only utilize the building they rent, but prohibit the access of the public park on the strip of land by the waterway. This is our land. It should be used in a way that benefits the residents of Gulfport. I would like to suggest that all future leases with the city are approved only if the entity uses the property and is open to Gulfport residents for a nominal fee. At the very least, their rent should benefit the city residents.
City manager covering up finances.
The cost of future rent, if the club wants to be private on our land, should then cover some of the major costs of all of us, like pay for internet for the city residents. Private clubs that choose to slap the face of residents, for example, by not following ADA laws because they are exclusively private, should purchase their own private land. Regarding the above, there seems to be the appearance of favoritism in the community for private clubs. I personally have had a liveaboard at one of these private clubs,
Richard,
my car in a public parking lot,
Walters,
obscenities at me with no resources for the city or the marina.
Commodore Richard Walters.
There was a man this past week who was on a bike to get a plate of fresh baked cookies from his daughter and club members. The report was they were drunk, bullied him on the public street. This must stop. Residents of Gulfport need to know that when city officials are contacted that the private exclusive club does not have the right to bully people. The fact that they are exclusively private should not mean that their power and control extends outside the doors of the building and flow into the streets and into our police department and governing authority. Thank you for your time. In these trying times, it is important for us to stick together and work as a community. And the next comment. My name is Ray Rodriguez.
From a public street.
I'm writing today to explain what happened to me and my children at the behest of the Boca Chica Yacht Club during a worldwide pandemic and while social distancing orders are in effect. My daughter invited me to her home for just baked warm cookies and milk. From her house, you can see the BCYC clubhouse. On my way to visit my kids, I saw the BCYC clubhouse lit up like a Christmas tree. I rode my bike in front of the clubhouse and started photographing this party from a public street. I noticed 78 cars and golf carts with people gathering inside the clubhouse. Paul Stifer and John McLeod came out almost immediately to harass me from where I was standing on Tifton Street, a public street. They were aggressive, screaming and threatening to have me arrested for trespassing and harassment. Again, I will note I was standing in a public street in the middle of my community, as I have the right to do.
300 yards from my front door.
Harassed and attacked me for it. John McLeod called the police. I waited over 10 minutes for them to arrive to take my statement about their harassment, but left to enjoy the warm cookies with my children when they did not show up. A short time later, 2 police cars with emergency lights stopped me as I'm arriving to my 2 children's home and detained me. Please note, I did ask these officers if they were detaining me, to which they replied yes, and then hastily claimed it was due to the improper lighting on my bicycle. Though they declined to write a citation when I asked them to do so, and said they actually wanted to talk to me about BCYC.
Lying police.
Both of my children came out of the house with the hot cookies and milk in hand to see what was going on. A third police car with emergency lights
Right in front of my kid's house.
property. During the conversation with two cops who approached me as I had been the one in violation of the law and state-mandated public health rules, my daughter, who is a young lady, became upset about this and previous harassments I've experienced at the BCYC and walked away in tears.
Crying.
My son, who I have who I have had the talk about how to act around police, because his name is Ray Rodriguez. Stayed to the end to ensure there was witnesses to the entire conversation with the GPD officers. I did not get to spend quality time eating fresh baked cookies with my children, as everyone was upset. I was photographing an all too common activity right now: people partying at the BCYC clubhouse despite a county and state imposed health alert. I then had GPD call on me and was threatened as if I were the person who was violating the law. Further, I was improperly engaged by GPD regarding lights on my bike rather than the incident at BCYC. And that was 3 minutes time, Mayor. I can provide you copies, the council member copies of these. I don't get to finish.
Thank you.
And I have one more comment. And this one is